Okay, so without further ado, let's all welcome Atty. Rene Bañez.
Salamat, Dewey. You can keep your cell phones open. It's good to telecom business, okay, where I belong. I'm here, okay, this morning, okay, to share with you a story. It is not entirely my own story. It is a story that I share, okay, with a few good men and women that I worked with in the past and still working now. The first story, okay, is about, okay, a story of re-engineering and reinventing a bureaucracy in government. And the second story, okay, is about creating a corporate governance landscape in a private sector. It is a continuous story. I would say it is a story of hope. It is a story of the future. It is a story of governance. It is a story of division. But it is also a story on how we can restore trust in the workplace. Let me just reiterate, okay, the theme of the Congress. The theme of the Congress is building the nation by attacking the poverty challenge through building capacity in individuals and institutions. I'd like also to reiterate, okay, what Father Ben and Dr. Benson said, okay, by quoting, okay, Amartya Sen, a Nobel Prize award in economics, okay, when she says that poverty, it is not just lack of material resources, it is also lack of capacity, it is a lack of opportunity. My story is also a journey that I'd like all of you to participate. It is a journey on how we can make poverty history in the country. I prepared an agenda, okay, for my story. Okay, first, I'll tackle the backstory. Second, public governance, okay, the reforms that we have initiated, okay, at the BAR. The third, okay, would be the corporate governance, okay, in PLDT. The fourth is I tried to connect both the public and corporate governance. Okay, and lastly, okay, I'll talk about, okay, governance and leadership. But I will end, okay, at the fourth, okay, before, okay, we have, okay, the Q&A. Let me start, okay, with the backstory. The backstory is my own awakening story. There were two incidents, okay, in my life, okay, that I can never forget. The first incident, okay, was when I was a freshman at the Ateneo. I had entered, okay, Ateneo Loyola before martial law. I was active, okay, in a number of school activities, one of which is monitoring the proceedings of the 1971 Constitutional Convention. And I witnessed the Payola envelopes being given inside the comfort room of the Quezon City Hall. This bothered me a lot. The second incident, okay, was when I was also a freshman lawyer. I was working, okay, with a law firm, and okay, one of the first cases, okay, that I handled is a collection case, okay, for a bank client. On the third hearing of the case, the lawyers, both the complainant and the respondent, were called in the chambers of the judge. And the judge requested me to make representation with the bank client to accept the compromise settlement being offered by the respondent. The question is to have a choice, and the judge hearing the case is making the request. So I have to communicate that request to the client, and also told them the background of the request. So we don't have a choice, but really to accept the compromise offer of the respondent. Now, I discovered later on that the presiding judge, this is in Pasig, of the Regional Trial Court, was a friend of the church. Now, incidentally, the presiding judge was also the spouse of a prominent journalist in Daily Express, who at the time was very close to the parties. Now, the next decade, for almost 12 years, I spent practicing as a tax lawyer with an auditing firm. So by the time I became a tax martyr, I have been exposed to the difficulties, complexities, and challenges of practice of taxation in two agencies, the BAR and the Bureau of Customs. It was a practice of whom you know and not what you know. It is a practice of compromise settlement, and oftentimes for a consideration. It is a practice of knowing the right people in the organization to get things done. So for almost 12 years, I learned the good, the bad, and the ugly side of practice of taxation. In 1992, FDR, President Ramos, one of the major actions that he did was to organize a team composed of tax lawyers and tax accountants for the purpose of conducting a management audit of the BAR. I volunteered, and eventually I was accepted in the group, and I headed a subgroup that conducted an audit of one of the key offices in the BAR. That was in 1993, 1994. Now, I discovered, I can only recall three major findings in that audit. One was there were incomplete tax credit records. There were also incomplete tax case records. And decision making in the agency was centralized in the office of the commissioner. And perhaps that explains why it takes time before actions are taken, are made, because everything are decided at the head of the office, the head of the agency. Now, there were also perks in working with government, and I had the privilege of attending a 6-month short course at Harvard on IT for fiscal systems. Now that course